we've heard your journey. We've heard a little bit about in terms of where you are currently, how we got there. And I think it's a fantastic journey. In terms of yourself and the organisation, if I was to do a little bit of asking you to do a bit of future gazing, what does the next sort of 3 to 5 years look like in terms of the world of work, in terms of the world as you see it, and anything from yourself from a personal perspective as well?
Yeah, I think from a co-op's perspective, we're growing. It's definitely a great place to work. Has been since I joined, but now we've got passionate senior leaders who are driving the business forward, and that is clear from every internal communication, every external communication, that it's growth, 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 but growth with purpose. And I think that's really important, and you can tell. We do an annual colleague survey. It's called Talkback, and the results are going to be published quite soon on that. But you can see the vast majority of our colleagues feel it's a great place to work, and can see that for the future it will continue to be a great place to work as well. For my own personal journey, well, I had a big birthday earlier this year, and it makes you reflect on what's important. So I have made the decision to drop down to a 3-day week, which has, from the summer, has been working very well for me. And I will continue to look at what's in the future for me, making sure I've got my work-life balance sorted. And a big passion of ours is travel. So that's on the agenda outside of work for sure.
Okay. And any advice for somebody who's in the sector making their way in terms of, who's looking to grow? What sort of encouragement or advice would you give them in terms of somebody that's still in their early days, or was hungry for the growth, or was ambitious for the growth?
Yeah, I think reach out to people.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is that community where it's very, very easy to get connected and to get support from people. And you'd be surprised at how many people that, well, you wouldn't be surprised actually, but people who have had experience in their careers are often very, very happy to share and to talk to individuals who are coming through the early stages, and to support other people's personal growth.
Okay. Sort of final questions, really, or one part of the final question, really, and we're coming to an end, and we've had, as I said, a fantastic conversation, and you talked about some of the unknowns and some of the challenges, and you've given some advice to business and people who are in the arena. But if you had that magic wand, and we, if somebody from the powers that be, government and so forth, were listening to this, what would you say to them in terms of UK PLC and the workforce, and what do we need as a nation in terms of the next sort of 5-10 years? How do we ensure that the country remains productive? We're doing the right things by the people and by individuals as well as business. Yes, we've got all of these different words and phrases, and things might change. But what would you say in terms of government's role in supporting businesses and individuals? Any sort of any advice to ministers, secretary of states, and so forth, and maybe even the prime minister?
Well, it would be wonderful if they're listening to this uncanny podcast, wouldn't it? But we will see.
Yeah.
I think it's really important that we focus on some of the key skills that are required for any individual to get on in their careers, or even make a start in their careers. And we're talking about maths skills, English skills, we're talking about data and digital literacy. Those are the cornerstones, really, of personal growth for many individuals that have not yet entered the workplace. And in fact, there are many individuals within the workplace that still need those skills. And sometimes that's a barrier for progression for many people. So I think that's an area that Skills England and the Growth and Skills Levy could consider. And also bringing in some of the levelling up that's been discussed, and there's less narrative about that seemingly at the moment. It's really important to ensure that we have got equality across the different regions of the UK, whether that's through the evolution of skills funding or whether it's through national policy through Skills England, remains to be seen. But it's really important that we do think about levelling up as well.
Louise, there's no doubt you're a seasoned expert in the apprenticeship and skills sector, but you've got the sort of commercial acumen of business, through your nearly 4 decades. So I won't emphasize too
Thanks
much.
for that.
I won't emphasize too much on that, but the vast experience that you've had across various industries, obviously finance, HR, education, policy, membership organizations, and understanding business and understanding the heart of business and the voice of business, and being in a position where you're now making a different level of impact across much more than a single organization. You're making a wider impact within the region. And any final words to our listeners would be appreciated from yourself, Louise. Thank you.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to showcase some of the work that Co-op does, and for your kind words about me as well. I'm very grateful for that opportunity. And I think final words really are, well, the work that you've done with the Alliance over the number of years that you've been involved in it from an apprenticeship perspective, and you've jumped the gun really by including skills in your title, because obviously Skills England is the organisation that's going to be giving us more information in due course. So well done on embracing the skills world beyond just apprenticeships, and I wish your organisation and all the members really lots of success for the future.
Thank you, Louise, for your encouragement. Thank you, Louise, for your support, and thank you for just being you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louise.
Canny Conversation Podcast Series 5 by Safaraz Ali.